Mr. Bielecki, thank you for accepting our invitation to be our guest speaker at our School of International Relations lecture series. You became Prime Minister of Poland in 1990 under the presidency of Areilza, at a time when your country faced big challenges related to the democratization of the political structures of the state, the introduction of the market economy, and the protection of human rights, aiming to the future integration of Poland in the European Union, which successfully took place in 2004.
Thank you for inviting, and it's really a pleasure to be in the best business school in Europe. We have two sorts of problems facing Poland today. Produce a sustainable development and keep a balance between growth and austerity.
My second question will be more on your view about the main reforms that the European Union should undertake in order to keep its position as a leading global actor.
As you also recall the history of Poland since 1989, we are not only very committed Europeans, and the incumbent Prime Minister Tusk is a very strong European, saying that he wants more Europe in the next years to come, but also the second leg of this international puzzle is that we are also strong believer in transatlantic partnership. And we understand that NATO was the most successful organization in Europe since the end of the Second World War. So we would like at the same time to observe that Europe is also developing the strengthened or enhanced relationship with the United States. And that's why the so-called transatlantic marketplace or transatlantic new form of cooperation means so much for us. And we would like very much Europe to go in this direction, because at the end, we strongly believe that sooner or later the democratic countries of the world, those who believe in basic liberties, we Poles are very much committed to, should act together closer and closer. The more global challenges we face, the more integration among the supporters or wardens of basic liberties is important. I cannot believe in a very global unity of the world. Global governance is almost an absurd for me, but integration, better integration among the countries sticking to the same values, I think this is the future. So Europe could have a difficult time even following deeper political integration to stand alone among those big actors and big powers. So, but Europe, together with the United States, with North America, still is by far the most powerful and the most convincing for me entity in the modern world. So for Europe is therefore important to think about the future integration, deeper integration, including some kind of a political federalism, but at the same time should not forget about transatlantic partnership and as a kind of a support for stability and peace in the future. Because over the last 30 years, since the end of the Cold War and the collapse of the Berlin Wall, we forgot about peace as an important driving factor of European integration. We think that today Europe is only about stability or pension funds. But Europe is also about peace and security. And last year, we should not forget that last year after a couple of centuries, Asia spent more on security issues than Europe. And in Europe, in some countries, we don't have already almost a defense sector. We have only pension funds for the former soldiers. So this is a serious issue and serious challenge for the future.
Thank you. Changing subjects. Last week we witnessed Benedict XVI stepping down as Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, something unseen in the past 600 years. Pope Benedict XVI was the successor, as we all know, of one of the most charismatic and controversial popes in church history, John Paul II, the only Polish pope in modern history. What was the role of John Paul II in the collapse of the communist regime and the Polish transition towards democracy?
Well, the church played a massive role in the Polish history over the last few centuries. Not over the last 2 decades or 3 decades, but over the last few centuries, when my country struggled with independence and the right for self-determination. And don't forget that we also lost completely independence, and Poland was parted by 3 superpowers and did not exist on a political map of Europe for more than 100 years. So to sustain in those difficult circumstances was important to produce some patriotic and national values, and one of the strongest supporters of those values was, of course, the Polish Church. During the difficult days when the communist system was about to collapse, they unfortunately introduced the martial law, and the military regime took over the power in the beginning of 1982. And then for the almost 7 years, the church was the only supporter of Polish resistance and Polish opposition. So since that time, the relationship is very close, which sometimes is even a problem when we try to discuss about civil partnership, for example.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bielecki, for your time, and thank you for being among us today.
Thank you.